Welcome back to the Bending Report. As we mentioned earlier, the 3rd Brigade is back in Iraq, this time with a new mission of advising and assisting Iraqi security forces so they can take complete control of their country. Our Ron Andruss spent time with the Sledgehammers' newly created security transition teams, finding out how they prepared for this new mission.
That's right, Susanna. In our national strategy for victory in Iraq, victory is defined as an Iraq that's in the lead, defeating terrorists and insurgents, and can provide its own security. Well, over the past few months, the 3rd Brigade has received some special training so they can go over and help Iraq do just that.
The mission, as you see, has evolved. For us as a brigade, we're going as an advise and assist brigade. So we're not doing full spectrum operations as it relates to counterinsurgency, but we're really doing something called stability operations as it relates to foreign internal defense.
In preparation for the Army's new mission in Iraq, the 3rd Brigade was tasked to put together 18 two-man security transition teams consisting of 36 field grade officers, provide them with 2 months of specialized training, and transform them into modern-day combat advisors.
They'll be teamed up to work with Iraqi counterparts, either in the Iraqi Army, the Iraqi Police, or the Iraqi Department of Border Enforcement, and to help advise, train, and assist them, partner with our own units to make them better and increase their capacity to secure the population.
To build their foundation, the teams took advanced courses in Iraqi languages, culture, and customs before moving on to key leaders engagement, where they put their new skills to the test.
We get put through scenarios on things that we can expect to see. The day one was the greetings and, how you go and you meet them and you build that rapport. The next day you start talking missions and you start working through exactly how you're going to coordinate American and Iraqi efforts together, whether those are full military operations or police operations, or in my case, I'm going to a border unit.
The teams also got to spend an afternoon listening to and talking with combat advisors from the Vietnam War, gaining some valuable insight and lessons learned.
What we're hoping to do is just kind of share what we did and the relationship that we had with our counterparts and what that was like, and kind of some of the things that you needed to kind of take a look at, because it's a very different experience. Because we as military officers are used to being commanding officers, and when you go out as an advisor, you're not the commander, but you need to act like a commander. So it's that kind of delicate rapport back and forth.
In order to influence your counterpart, which is what your job is to do, it's important to understand and have empathy with your counterpart and understand what culture he comes from. Because after all, we're not there to train them to be Americans, we're there to help them defend their own country.
The last stage of the training was very mission specific. Some learned border security operations and the others law enforcement techniques from the FBI.
The goal was the last 3 days to work with them on some of our collection evidence processing techniques that we use, in hopes that they're some examples of how we do things with U.S. law enforcement, and that they can carry those over to their mission overseas.
Being a combat advisor is an art more than a science, and this all-important training can be the difference between success and failure in the mission.
We now have Iraq in a position where they can actually do this. They can actually take care of themselves. And this is just the last polishing to make sure that when we walk out of there, Iraq doesn't fall on its face.
The 3rd Brigade is now well prepared for their new mission, in country, and ready to finish what we all hope is the last phase to help Iraq stand on its own.
Ron, do these new security transition teams only consist of senior officers, meaning majors, lieutenant colonels, and colonels?
Yes, and it's because they must have a rank that Iraqi officers can respect and have the knowledge and experience necessary to help their Iraqi counterparts get the job done.
Well, you also mentioned that they receive Border Patrol training. Did they conduct that here at Fort Benning as well?
No, actually, the teams who will be working with Iraq's border security traveled to Fort Bliss, Texas, and spent a week down there with Homeland Security receiving that training.